What's up, everybody? Wednesday morning. Hope you guys are having a great day. Welcome to today's edition of the Daily Market Commentary. I'm your host, Chuck Fulkerson. We're going to take a look at our major markets from an educational perspective, breakouts, reversals, all that fun jazz, as we are seeing a little bit of some more bullish movement today after the market gave us a pullback of a couple of days. So if you're new to the channel, do me a favor, click the subscribe button, hit the notification bell. Make sure that you leave us a thumbs up. The computers like to see that. So do I. And comment down below. Just say hi. I'm not asking a lot. Just give me a comment down below. What are some of the things that you look for in your trades? And give me some stocks that you're looking for today. All right, let's go ahead and dive in. So the ES this morning, we were up 32 points. And we had looked yesterday in our live trade room. And if you're not a member of the live trade room, come join us. Go to tradersarmy.com, become a member. Love to have you. We had a bit of a daily chart pullback into what was a pretty good reversal kind of setup. Yesterday we wound up closing on the high as it rallied throughout the day, but it was a fair amount of chop until late in the morning when we got our rally up kind of late in the day. Now that chop that we were seeing early in the morning, we had looked at a couple of areas of supply, and the market hit that supply and then immediately sold off of that supply area. But then the second time through burst right through it, right? And so once we got above this sideways price action, there was plenty of room for the market to continue to go higher, and that's exactly what we saw. And so what we're looking at today is, frankly, our Globex high could lead to another breakout trade. So I think we could see a breakout trade this morning with the Globex high trading a bit higher. We do have a little bit of supply over here to the left that I want to be concerned with, but if I think about this supply over here to the left, and if I were to use this as simply a supply level, I would say, well, we've already touched it once, and we're now basing inside of that level. That's actually the definition of a good breakout opportunity. And so I'd be okay if you wanted to get long on a breakout on this position. Yes, we're already at 33 points today, but if I look further to the left, I basically have clean air going all the way up to this wick over wick area up here at 45.73. So I think there's plenty of room to run to the upside based upon our price action. Now, if I go to the overnight levels, I do see that we had a nice pullback and an origin of a move higher right at around the London Open, which is one of our favorite times of the day to look for trades and look for levels. So if we do pull back this morning, this is where you've got an opportunity. Now, if you take the breakout, your stop theoretically should be underneath this pivot, 45.38. If you want to be way more aggressive, you can put it under 45.41. You're just being a bit more aggressive in that setup. The NASDAQ, this is actually the breakout line we had established a couple of days ago for a potential NASDAQ breakout. And so we are coming really close to that at the moment. Now, I will say yesterday in the NASDAQ, we looked at and said, hey, there's a potential reversal here, but I thought it was kind of crap. But I wanted to at least point it out. And lo and behold, it was crap as we blew right through it. But old supply oftentimes acts as new demand, and that's exactly what we saw here before price moved higher. Looking at this on the 15-minute chart, go to the smaller time frame, this also has that London Open reversal pivot area for a potential level. The Russell 2000, now the Russell, by the way, has been our weaker market. Somebody did point out yesterday, though, that we have gotten a higher swing high and a higher swing low in the Russell. So once we got above this pivot high right here, once we got above this pivot right there, bear with me on my terrible arrow drawing. Once we cleared that area, we had already had a higher low, right? Our higher low was right here after this swing low down here. So we've got two consecutive higher lows, and we got higher than this swing high. Now we're not quite officially higher than that high as of yet, but that would actually indicate that our daily chart would be switching to an uptrend. It would be the early stages of a daily chart's uptrend. And so haven't really seen a true uptrend in the Russell in a really long time. I think there's room to run all the way up until this region here for the rut with that setup. Now, looking at it on a smaller time period, the hourly chart, say, move some of these levels in here. Yesterday in class, we did look at this little area for a reversal, and it got a little move away, but then just popped right through just soon after. And so now that we're in a confirmed uptrend on the 4 hour, our 4 hours definitely in a confirmed uptrend, we need to start looking at all supply areas as confirmation entries, and demand areas down below could be limit entries. And you know, we haven't really said that about the Russell much lately, so it's kind of a nice change of pace, if you will. So sliding into the 15-minute chart, very similar to the reversal time in the other markets. You've got the European market open level right here for a potential entry on a pullback. Let's see, taking a look at crude oil. Let's look at crude right quick on our energies and metals setup. So looking at crude oil, we had talked about the fact that we're sitting in that weekly supply. Was not shocked that we got a bit of a pullback, but yesterday we had really just a lot of sideways price action to lean on. Not a whole lot to play with, and I think there's not a whole lot today. There is a pretty clean supply level up above us, of course, because our 4 hour is still in an uptrend. It has to be a confirmation, although that 4 hour uptrend showing us a little bit of sign of weakness. You know, theoretically, you could take this here as a breakdown because this was our area of demand that we had looked at for a potential demand zone. I looked at it yesterday. I shied away from it a bit because of the basing we were getting in front of the level. We did wind up actually getting a bounce off of it, hit it again, got a little bounce off of it, and that's actually the recipe for a breakdown. So I could look, you could theoretically get a breakdown below 88.55 all the way down into here. Now, you know, you've got this this level down here, which is the origin after this wick up and a strong pullback down, where you could see a reversal off of here, but at the very least, it's a target on a short below 88.55. Gold, we talked about a breakout. So on Monday, we talked about this breakout in gold. So hopefully you took that one. And then yesterday, we got a retest back into that area and another breakout potential in gold. So you may or may not have gotten in on that one. It's actually giving you another opportunity for a breakout right above here. And these are all just day trade opportunities that keep popping up. Now, by the way, you go to the well too often, eventually it's going to run dry. So, you know, one of these is just not going to hold off. But I think that you still have it if you get a breakout above 1830 today. Natural gas. So looking at nat gas, we are coming down really, really hard over the last couple of days. 4 hour trend is just smoking to the downside. We're sitting above a 1 hour demand area, but I will say we came close to it and didn't get in, which makes it a confirmation. And we're in a downtrend, which makes it a confirmation. And we're basing in front of it, which makes it get the heck out of here. Not interested. That's really what that does. I will say that you've got a potential breakdown here below 4.112, and below that, I mean, you've got a couple of areas of demand, but the fact that we're basing in front of those demand areas makes them a lot less likely and a little bit more vulnerable. So for those of you that trade nat gas, look for the breakdown below this region here. Let's see what else we have on our bond and currency markets. I will tell you, we broke down in the 10-year note. We got a little bit of a breakdown. 6 candles later, we had gone nowhere, and now we've still gone nowhere. And so while I liked this breakdown and still bearishness rules the day, speed candles do eventually get retraced, and it may take a while. But when that speed candle gets retraced, that's still going to be the one that I'm going to look for in that market. The euro, we had a kind of a similar thing to the euro that we had in the 10-year note, where we got a breakdown, but then it just kind of fizzled out. Not a big winner, not a big loser, one way or the other. 6 candles after the breakout, you were right here, so you were right at break even. Do I think that a breakout still exists down below here? Sure I do. But right now, if we see this sideways boredom, that tells me that something's going to happen. It's just not happening yet. And when you play around with a lot of that sideways trading, you get a lot of this, right? Decent demand level, cuts right through, comes back up, cuts right through. And so it's a lot harder, a lot tougher sledding when you are seeing that sideways price action. So I think discretion can be the better part of valor, oftentimes in these markets. Looking real quick at Bitcoin as well as Ether. So looking at Bitcoin, we rallied up to a really nice breakout potential area and then sold off of it. We've got a really good demand area down below us. We are more back into an uptrend in this market. Now this is the retest. Old support acted as new resistance almost to the T, and that was really the breakdown that we had taken weeks ago for those of you that have been following. And so it's still going to be an area of resistance. If we base in front of there, look for a breakout above it. But in between there, you're just sitting with this triangle pattern at the moment. You can get a break one way or the other on there and then trade that break. Ethereum, micro ether, I really like the gap fill area. We just didn't come into it. Our confirmation short was a nice move out of that level. So now what I'm going to do is I'm going to leave that level there, but I'm going to leave it there as a breakout potential since we came right into that region as we would head a bit higher. So hopefully those levels make sense for today. As always, if you have any questions, send us an email, support@tradersarmy.com. Thanks so much, everybody. I'll talk to you tomorrow. See ya.
Hey, thanks for joining us. If you like what we do, please make sure you hit that subscribe button. It's the only way the computers know that you're actually live and really care. And go to tradersarmy.com today to learn a bit more. And if you want to see some of our other videos, click here in the box.